Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So it looks like California and New York are both going to be doubling down on their carry restrictions and permitting processes following the Supreme Court's NYS RPA v. Bruin decision, which says we have a right to carry in public. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, I just want to let you know I really appreciate you watching these videos. It means a lot. If you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. It would help me out greatly. And also check out the main sponsor of this channel, which is the USCCA. Absolutely the best membership you could ever have in your wallet with self-defense, liability insurance, and more. So check out the USCCA. Let's get to it. So the Supreme Court says that we have a right to carry in public. That should be it. That should be the end of the story right there. But California and New York, both of which absolutely cannot stand our rights, decide that they want to just go ahead and make a new scheme. So they're going to add on top of the permitting process. They're going to make it as difficult as possible. They're going to dig into your background and your life. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that you still can't get a permit. But if you actually do make it through that gauntlet, they're going to restrict the places that you can carry so much that you pretty much won't be able to leave your house anyway. And that's what we're going to be talking about. But let me go ahead and give you a little bit of food for thought first. If you have to ask the government for permission, if you have to take a test, if you have to acquire a permit in order to do something, are you still practicing a right? Or are you practicing a privilege? Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So California and New York are following each other pretty closely. It looks like they might be following a very similar blueprint here on getting around that decision that, basically gets rid of the good cause or just cause requirement. So basically the decision took states from a may issue stance to a shall issue stance. So you're going to have to issue somebody a permit as long as they are legally able to own something, right? Well, California said, okay, fine, we'll go ahead and we'll remove the good cause requirement, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to double the amount of time that you need for training. So instead of 8 hours, now you're going to have to do 16 hours. That's going to add extra costs to it because you already know there's a cost associated with going to that first 8-hour class. There's going to be another cost now associated with having to do it twice because the person that trained that first 8-hour class and was able to do it in one day is now going to have to dedicate 2 days to one class. Okay, so he's basically going to be losing half of his income unless he charges a little bit more. So that's what's going to happen. You're going to get charged significantly more for a 2-day class now, and that's going to be, a burden on a lot of people. So we're just talking about a financial burden so far. Then you're going to have to fill out your paperwork. You're going to have to take a test, and that's kind of nothing new, right? Background checks, fingerprints, all that. You got to pay for pretty much every step along the way. But now you're going to have to do an interview, and during that interview, they're going to ask you tons of questions about your personal life, and you're going to have to give up your personal life. This entire time, they're trying to read you to figure out whether or not you're a good person, and then they're going to look into your social media accounts, okay? So they're going to peer into your social media accounts. They're going to want to know what your handles are. They're going to want to know what your hashtags are, and they're going to take a look to see if maybe you're not their type of person, because it doesn't say specifically exactly what they're looking for. It just says that you have to be of good moral character. Now, I'm of good moral character, but if you were to ask somebody from the opposite side of the aisle if I'm of good moral character, they may have a different answer because maybe my political beliefs are different than theirs. They don't like that, and they think, how could somebody like that be, allowed to have something? So they may just have a different point of view as you, and that could be it. That could be the determining factor that knocks everything out. Not only are they going to look at your social media accounts, but they're also going to be talking to people that you know. They want to get character witnesses now. Okay, so character witnesses in order to testify on your behalf that you're somehow a good person. So looking into your social media, getting those character witness accounts, filling out the paperwork, 16 hours of training, all this and that. And we're talking about similar stuff that's happening in New York as well. So try and keep in mind, if you see something happen in California, guaranteed it's going to start this trickle-down effect throughout the rest of the country. So other states, so the 7 states total that had something similar to that good cause or just cause requirement, you're going to see something similar to this start popping up in those states. But let's say that you make it through that entire gauntlet. Okay, you've done everything. I'm a good person. I got a little halo over my head. Look at me. I'm great. Please, sir, can I please have my permit? Because, I'd like to practice my rights once I get my permit. Okay? So once you make it through that process, now what they've decided to do is so heavily restrict where you can bring it. Public sidewalks, parks, local businesses, I mean, privately owned businesses, unless expressly permitted prior to entrance. So if you want to go to a public business and it doesn't have a sign out front that says, hey, go ahead and carry here, we're good with it, then it would be against the law to carry there. So the restrictions are going to be so incredible that you won't be able to carry pretty much anywhere anyway. As a matter of fact, this is actually going to hurt those people who already had permits in that state that just were, watching others suffer in different counties. So you have people in LA County who weren't able to get one, but you have people in Ventura County that already had one and they didn't have all these restrictions on where they could go. It was typical stuff, federal buildings, things like that, all the typical stuff. But now those people that already had their permits are going to be even further restricted on where they can go. And it's going to also shorten the time and, increase the amount of training that you need to do just to get your permit renewed. So if you already have a permit, you've proven you're a good person, you've done everything absolutely right, you're still law-abiding, background check's good, fingerprints good, everything else, you're still going to have to go through extra hoops even if you already have a permit. So California and New York pretty much going about things the exact same way, and they said, look, we may have had to get rid of that just cause requirement, but we're going to go ahead and fill that in with so much that keeps you from that permit that most people, the average person who doesn't have 2 days to take out of their time for, training, isn't going to want to do. So we're going to try and discourage you as much as humanly possible to even attempt to get a permit. And that's California in a nutshell. That's New York in a nutshell. We'll see what happens in the other states. But like I said, we've seen what happened on a federal level, right? And what they're going for on a federal level. It's pretty much everything that already exists in California. So if it exists in California, then it has that trickle-down effect so much that it finally makes it all the way up to Congress, on a federal level, you're going to see the same thing start to happen in these other states that had good cause or just cause or something similar like Hawaii. So keep your eyes open for that, but don't let them win. I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be a bunch of lawsuits that are going to be filed on this because there's no way that this is not restricting your rights. There's no way. This is so blatant. It's so in your face. It's so outright unconstitutional that there's no way this is going to hold water in court, especially given the new rules that the Supreme Court gave to the lower court saying, hey, look, when it comes to this stuff, no more two-prong approach, okay? You're not supposed to look at, government interests. You're supposed to look at text, history, and tradition. That's it. And so we have that precedent now that was set by the Supreme Court. So at least when these things do make it up to the circuit court, so you're looking at the 9th, the 3rd, the 4th, right? All these different circuit courts that are going to be hearing these cases now have to follow that rule. So even though we're going to have to challenge these, I think we have a better chance of winning, and they're going to have to knock it off because it's getting out of control. This is getting ridiculous now. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, let you guys know what's going on. I would still try and go through the process myself. I would still try and go through it, or at least get it started so that, it's not a total backlog. It's just crazy. They'll do everything they can to trample on your rights. They have no respect for the Constitution whatsoever, and it's disgusting. So, again, thank you all very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.